basically is the solution to everything. But the key is, do you have the right person for the right job? Now imagine if you are lining up a prospect in your network marketing business. How's it, George? Great to have you here. You're lining up the prospect and you say to yourself, I wonder what kind of person they are. I can tell you that today I'm going to give you a little insight, a key of how you can basically know before they even sit down at the coffee table. So you're going to have to take a lot of notes today, but more important than everything, you might want to go and practice the skills that you're going to learn today. So if I was able to remove the tension from you in terms of how to work with people, wouldn't that make it so much better? It's great to see that Michelle, my technical assistant, is not here today, so I'm doing this all live without her. I hope she can hear me. Well, if she give me a little love heart if you know that you can hear me, my love. Okay. And then obviously what I would like to say to you is, what would it mean to you if you literally knew exactly how to observe people, how to look at their behavior, look at what they're doing to know where they are going, so that as you now approach them as a prospect, you are fully confident that you know how to converse with them better. You know how to basically interact with them better. In fact, you know how to connect with them better. Tamlin, all the way from England, it is so great to have you here. And you know, my daughter Tamlin in England is one of the inspirations for me in this area, because she is an area manager working with a whole lot of people. And she actually said to me that whenever I talk about people skills, it helps her so much to work with the people that she works with. So today is going to be so practical. So lastly, I want to ask you, what if I could help you discover today what to do, what to look at, what not to say, to basically connect better with people and to observe their behavior in terms of who they are? Well, for those people that haven't been here before, I'm Dr. Anthony Fontorna. I've got a PhD in leadership and management. I also have a PhD in behavioral analysis. That means looking at people, their behavior, and how to build relationships. I've used this over the years to great effect and to great joy of working with people and going to the next level. It is just absolutely so beautiful when you're able to work with people and see that you do connect. Now, a little bit of revision in terms of what we've done in the past. Remember, there's 4 behavioral styles, 4 of them. The first one was the D for driver. This is the kind of person that you don't play around. You just, they drive. They just want to get things done. The second kind was the I for the influencer. This is the kind of person that is excellent at influencing others, and there's obviously a modus operandi of how they all work. So I'm going to come back and tell you just how that. The S, this is your supporter. This is the kind of person that will support you in everything in what you do. And then lastly, the person is your C for compliant. So those are the 4 behavioral styles that really helps you and me to connect with people. Just going back, just as a revision, the D, remember, they want results. So when I want you to see in your mind that you're sitting at a coffee table, you're expecting one of these 4 people, a D, I, S, or C, to walk across to you, and I'm going to help you how to recognize who they are. So how to read them, in other words. So the D likes results. And then the I, well, they like recognized. So how will you recognize them practically? Today we're going to have a very practical session of how to do it. And with the S, well, they like relationships. You have to build a relationship to connect with them. So there's something you have to do before we even start talking business. And then the C, the compliant, remember, there's just one thing that drives them. They want to be right. Are you ready to get right into this? Well, I am. And all I can say to you is that if this session has meant a lot to you today, you're going to be able to share this with the world. So let's talk about the first thing. You're sitting at the coffee table. What would it look like if the person starts walking towards you? The one person walks fast. You can see they're focused. They're fast and they come towards you. Well, that is your D. Because the D is always on a mission. Remember, they want a result. They know they have to meet you. And I can tell you, they invariably are not late, but they arrive exactly on time, because that is how they basically play their life. In fact, they play a little game with themselves. They see how close they can cut it to be there. Like, for instance, if your appointment was at 3 o'clock, exactly 1 minute to 3, they'll just walk in there, calm as anything, but their heart will go, and they will be bouncing because they knew that they just made it. They sort of challenge themselves all the time. So they'll be walking fast. What would it look like if the person is an high I, the influencer? If the influencer comes towards you, most probably this person will be looking around and waving at people and be full of smiles and also make a lot of noise and be talking, maybe busy on their phone. because then you know this person is an influencer. Now remember, what drives their behavior? Recognition. So what do? Well, on this person, you have to get up out of your chair and say, how's that? Good to see you. You have to make a fuss about them, because that way they just love when you connect with them. Then you get the other person that will come in that we describe as the S, or the supporter. There's a big giveaway that this is an S. They will walk very slowly towards you. They will look uncertain. But one thing that is characteristic of an S, they will smile, because they smile at people whether they know you or not. That is the characteristic of an absolute S. They'll smile. I mean, you can be walking in the mall, you don't know the person from a bar of soap. If you look to your left, you look to your right, and this person like sort of, you know, that little coy shy, that's a dead giveaway. It's an S. But they will sort of approach you a little bit uncertain. Thank you for the loves. I take it. It's absolutely wonderful. Then we get to that C, the compliant type. What will it look like when they arrive? Well, number one, they will be early, because they do not like being late. Because remember, they like to be right. So that has to mean they are right on time. They might even be 5 minutes early and sort of hang around. You can sort of look around and look at the person that is very serious, and it's very difficult to read their face. I mean, this is their excited face, and this is their not excited face. You get it? You can't read their face. All right, sorry. For the sake of today, what I'm doing when I go through the DISC, I'm going to exaggerate. Now, please, don't put people in boxes. This is not true for every single person, and it's not 100% applicable all the time. But most of the time, you can sort of put it together, because most people are a combination not of one, but of maybe one or two characteristics. Now, I'm going to do that today and show you that if these two people arrive, what will it look like? In fact, let me do the example of, if you have the D and the I, they both arrive in a BMW. What's the difference? But you think to yourself, hold on, they're both driving a BMW. Is there any difference? You see, the difference is that the D will come screeching into his parking place and just make it. The I, no ways. The music will be on, the window will be open, there's a vibe. Yeah, they're happy. They enjoy life, man. So when they arrive, they might have the same car, but the car per itself, with their behavior, will tell you whether it's a driver or an influencer. The influencer also loves exotic colors, a beautiful bright yellow or maybe a red. That's normally a dead giveaway that you have got a high I or influencer coming towards you. So imagine sitting in that coffee shop. They haven't even come from the parking lot yet, and you're able to take what you learned today and look across and say, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, maybe it's that. So I really hope this can take you to the next level. Really also great to have you in on the team today. So what does it look like for the D and I? As I said, they will come in screeching with their cars. Now, then, if you look across and you see a little car that comes in all clapped out and maybe even dirty, that's your supporter. Because your supporter, they are not conscious about themselves. They're not conscious about what kind of car they drive. As long as the thing moves. I mean, it's got three colors, white, blue, and rust. That's normally how it works. But as long as that car can get in there. Now, if you are able to stand on the pavement before you go into the coffee shop and you look inside the car, I promise you, the supporter, extra jersey, the lunch box that they had yesterday, that's still in the car, papers lying in the car. It's just the way that they operate. But what will it look like if the compliant, the person that's a C, remember they like to be right, when they arrive, I can tell you that their vehicle is clean. It's meticulous. And they will make sure that they go exactly in the middle of the parking space. There's no ways a high compliant will come into the parking space queue and leave the sort of the back of the car hanging out. No ways. They will actually reverse, in, out, even do 2-3 times until the car is 100% perfectly parked. Now, all of that is you laugh at yourself, because that's how we recognize you. Now, I'm about to do business with you. So I'm really keenly watching how you behave. So now, I will look when you arrive. The kind of cars that will help you? Well, the D, let me just get back. The D, they like to have a big car. They like a big, fast car. Male or female, doesn't matter. The high I, well, they like flashy. As I said, noisy, the music on. If there's a sunroof, the sunroof will be open. They'll be wearing sunglasses. I can tell you one thing. A high eye arriving, sun is shining without sunglasses, not cool. Because it's all apart the image. And also you can look at the handbag. It's maybe a branded handbag. You can look at the shoes. Maybe it's Prada. I can tell you now if it's a female and if it's a high influencer, the clothing, the branded clothing is a dead giveaway. They love to look the part. Now don't get me wrong. The choleric or the D likes to dress well, but well and practical. But the I is flashy. In fact, when they buy a brand new suit, if this is the male, they make sure that the emblem is still on the arm, that you can see this is Carducci. And if you're doing that, laugh at yourself, because that's how we know who you are. Because remember, you're coming in to be my prospect, and I would like to serve you at the best possible level. So I'm busy teaching you how to read people. Then, what about the clothing of the S? I can tell you, it's not always matching. It might be brown pants and a green shirt. It doesn't have to be always very, very neat. But their smile makes up for it. Because what they wear is not important to them. But what they wear on the inside of them is very, very important to them. So these are the quality people. I call them the salt of the earth people. People that you want to meet with and to know it's about relationship building. Remember, I'm going to tell you when you start speaking what to listen for and what to look at, and then how you must respond. We're going to get to that just now. Then I get to lastly to this high, compliant. This person here, meticulous. They dress well, but they like little checks, or they like big checks. They like their cardigan. So they like that sort of Pringle look. If they're wearing Pringle, don't get mixed up thinking that it is maybe the high influencer. It could, but normally it is because of the way that it fits. It fits them beautifully. But branded is normally the influencer. Okay, so now you're basically at the coffee shop. You're ready to actually greet them as they come in the table. Remember, the D, what will he do? He or she will come in fast. So what you do is you better get up fast and have a handshake. Now, please, if they come in to do business with you, the moment you've got a weak little handshake, you're dead. Because they have a powerful handshake. You can, male or female, it's a powerful handshake because they know who they are. They are in control. Remember that. You'll see it in their posture. Thanks for the thumbs up. That means you recognize what I just said. So then we get to the high I. When they arrive, remember they love to be recognized. So you jump out of your chair and you even say, hi, make noise. Because as they approach and you saw the flashy car, you saw the music, they're busy on their phone, and you can see that. And by the way, they'll be a little bit late. They're usually a little bit late because they can't find their car keys. They're like, where's my keys? Where's my handbag? That's why it's so easy to identify them. They're a bit flustered when they arrive. Okay, a little bit hot, and they're normally like, oh, okay, no, sorry, that was the wrong one. I should take the high I. I'm so hot, I'm so hot. That's an I. They're influencers. So just recognize them, and say, thank you that you made the meeting. Start with that. The S, well, now you have to slow yourself. Why? This is the people person. This is the salt of the earth person. This is the person that you want to say, hey, I believe that your mom went in for operation. Or hey, I see on Facebook that your sister is going overseas. Really? The fact that you basically have gone onto Facebook and checked them out before they came, and that you know something about them, I can tell you they are in your pocket. You can do business with them because you're building a relationship. But now watch out. If you are a high driver, like myself, you sometimes can come across and really sound like you don't mean it because you're just going through the motions. So you have to just slow down your pace and be authentic. Be real. Of course, you can't really change who you are, but you can change how you address people because that's going to give you the next result. Now, what do you do when the compliant arrives at the table? I can tell you, please, if you're a hugger, they're not a hugger. Do not get up from the table and give them a big hug. That's the end of your business deal because it will be one of those like, or they don't do it. They just don't hug. So don't hug them and don't force a hug upon them if you are a hugger. Especially if you have a strong persona, strong behavioral style like me, and you're used to hugging people in an environment where it's the right thing to do. But when you're talking business, just remember, when you get to Mr. Compliant, it's a short little handshake. So in terms of those handshakes, let me just help you. Now, as I said, the high D, strong, in. And I want you to see something. I'm changing my hand to the top. The more this hand is angled for the person with the driving personality, the stronger they are. Because they will come and hand in on top and squeeze your hand hard. Look you in the eyes. Because they're serious, they're here for business. That will give it. The I will come and high five you or even miss your hand, or they grab your hand, they got fingers and shake their hand. Feeling very uncomfortable because they'll be smiling and they're unsure. There's optimism and trust in the way that they do things. The S, well, how will they shake hands? Very relaxed. It'll just be, hi. I'm exaggerating because I want you to realize it's the tempo that has a lot to do with the behavioral style. And the compliant, I can promise you one thing, it's a 90-degree effect. Arm up, shake down. No holding of hand. No singing kumbaya. But if the person is a high S, please don't be offended, because if they feel that they're connecting with you, when they came in and they see you smiling, when you greet with them, they might hold onto your hand and say, how are you? And how's business? And how's your family? Before they even sit down. So just a handshake is such a dead giveaway of the kind of behavioral style as to who they are. Oh my gosh, I'm running out of time here for what I wanted to share. But I just want to give you guys the practical way of when these people come to do business. The prospect is ready. Are you ready? Now we start conversing. The D will basically question everything to do with what? What is that? What? So they will be very curt in the way they speak to you. Now you can basically become offended. It's just them in their mode of concentrating, of wanting to get to the end result. Remember, they're results driven. And the I, well, it's a lot of chatting. Thanks to all the laughing faces. I see people just realizing who they are, other people in their lives, and that's really just what it's about. So the high I, what happens to them when you start conversing? Well, you might have to get them to shut up and get to business eventually, because they're going to tell you about, oh, you know, that policeman when I was there, and they tell you the story, and then their mind jumps to the next, and their mind jumps from the one thing to the next, and to the next thing. So it's very difficult to get to the point. So what you want to do is connect with them, have the laugh with them, and then just say, hey, are we going to do business? Yes. And then just slow down and then start speaking business, because to get their attention and to keep their attention is very difficult. But it also tells you something else. If I just want to lift up again, the two people that get bored easily are these two, your driver and influencer. The driver gets bored because why? You're taking too long to speak to them. The I, well, they'll keep diverting, going from A to B to C to D to go back to A. That's what you need to do. So in speaking to the S, please lower your voice. Slow down when you speak to them. Connect. Help them understand how this is going to help their family. Help them understand how this is going to help them get together with people. I mean, one thing about the network marketing business, it's a beautiful business. But some people hate it because of people. Because people become so goal-driven that they override who they're speaking to, and they don't really connect, and people really don't like it. Chat, also great to see you up here today. So with a high compliance, in terms of the way that you approach them, please don't guess. The number one thing that you want to do with this person is, if they ask you a question and you don't know, say to them, interesting question. Thank you. I will actually get back to you. The moment you start spinning yarn, or the moment you're trying to give an answer of something that you don't know, I can guarantee you they will know the answer. They've done the research. They're sitting there because they basically have looked out. If you come in and you're talking about cryptocurrency, do yourself a favor. They're going to know everything about the blockchain. They're going to know the size of the blockchain. They can tell you how much it's grown by. They can tell you what the market is doing. They can tell you what the meritocracy system is going to be. I can just carry on. I'm just using one topic in your business that you do. Obviously, there's various businesses. It could be on your product. They will know your product better than you. Because remember, how do they buy a shirt? They pick it up. They look at the label. Look at the wash care instructions. They make pretty sure that when they look at anything that you are basically discussing with them, give me the details, give me the facts. So please don't try and be over enthusiastic. The worst mistake that you can make is that if you have Mr. Compliant or Miss Compliant sitting in front of you, to try and enthuse them into your business. This is going to be fantastic. They will go like, what you're smoking? Thank you. I don't want some of that stuff. So guys, you can see it in their behavior. So maybe I can help you if I just conclude the session today and say, Facial expressions or the way they use their hands might help you. The D. Let's go back to the D. Ah, there it goes. It's not perfect. It's dropped. 1 second. I got it again. Here we go. Let's talk about the D. So what do they look like? You look at my face. It's serious. But I can basically give you my emotion. You know what's happening. But it's serious. Look at my hands. It's fast movements. That's the D. What's the difference with the D and the I? The I will go like, they can put a face, okay? Like, no, okay? They also go, what? They also go big movements, all right? In fact, watch out. They might just Jackie Chan you just by accident. All right, they knock things off the table. I mean, if you are an influencer, and I'm talking about this person, if you're, how many times have you knocked over the Coke standing right in front of you at the table? Yep, that's you. It's purely because your hands are all over the place. Right, the S, what will their face look like? I gave it away earlier. A nice smile. They'll be smiling at you quietly and nodding. This is good. This is good for a phlegmatic, or what we call a supporter, the person that's a supporter. This is very good for them because then you're connecting with them. And what like is it for the compliant? Difficult to read. If you manage to get a little smile in the corner of the mouth, you've done fantastically. So guys, today was just the first session on just starting to look at how you can read people. Because you're not always in a position to go and do an analysis where the person sits down with you. But you can observe. Observation is key. The car that they drive, the speed that they walk, the way they use their hands, the way they express their face. All of these are key components to give you a tip of who you are about to deal with as a prospective client, as we call a prospect. So I hope that today has made a lot of sense to you. Some of you have been in the business for quite a while. You have seen your own behavior. You laugh at other people's behavior and at yourself. That's fantastic. And all I can say is, if this meant something to you, would you please make a comment below? Would you please click on it? Would you share it with other people? I think we need to get this out, that we can make network marketing so much more attractive if we just care enough to learn how other people work. Now, I want to say it out front. Some of them say, hold on, are you manipulating? No, I'm less of me, more of you. I'm making myself less to give more time to you. That's manipulation. That's caring for you. So my friend, please care for the person that's coming to meet with you. And next time you sit around the coffee table, may these skills just help you a little bit towards connecting and possibly concluding that deal.